My name is Andrew Umogo, and in this demonstration, I will show the Azure networking configuration um, completed for week 5. And the objective was to create separate virtual network for each department, configure subnet and network security group, migrate the virtual machines to the network, assign static IP addresses according to the required IP schema. Right now, the first step I did was to um, initially when I created the virtual machines, um, there was an already existing virtual network and other functions, other features created by the Azure itself. So if I go to my VNet virtual network, I will see them. So look at them, they were created by, but because for this scenario or for this project to be successful, I have to recreate 3 virtual networks, which is sales VNet, engineering VNet, and customer success VNet. After creating that, I have to, with the same regions as requested and IP addresses, then I have to create a subnet, you know, create a subnet where for the separate subnet for the 3 departments, which is this subnet 1. This is subnet for the sales department, and other department have their own as well. After that, I create a network security group for the different departments, which are sales, NSG, network engineering, and customer success. These are the existing ones that were created before when I created the virtual machines. Now, because I have to move them and to complete this setup that was given in week 5, I have to create a new one and reassign every department, such as sales will be connected to sales, network security group, engineering, and customer success as well. After creating that, I have to associate the network security group with the subnet. Let me see how I did them. I associated with the network security group with each subnet. For example, I go to sales, and you can see that the network security group is associated with the subnet here. Sales virtual network and sales subnet connected together. Then after that, I have to migrate the virtual machines. Since an existing virtual machines has been created, and I cannot delete, according to Azure, it does not allow a virtual machine to be moved directly from one virtual network to another. So I have to, what I did was I went to delete virtual machine while keeping the OS disk. Then using the OS disk, I created another virtual machine and apply, for example, this. When I go to delete, when I initially deleted it, it gave me options of which I unchecked these boxes. I have to retain this OS disk, which I later use in creating another virtual machine in this format. I went to OS disk, here, and now use selected OS disk to create another virtual machine. That was what I did. So that way, moving from one network security group to the other will be easier for me. So after that, I now configure the static IP address after creating the VMs, virtual machines. I went to virtual machine 1, networking, Now go to network interface. In the network interface, I went to IP configuration. That is why I now have to apply the required IP address that I'm expected to use by for this project. Go to IP config 1, then change to statics and use the IP address I'm expected to use. After I did that for all the 6 VMs, I now go to verify Azure DNS. I verify Azure DNS by the two ways, but the common one I used was log into I logged into the remote desktop sales one. In order to have verify Azure DNS, I have to do IP config all. So Azure DNS, come in, let me verify again. The DNS IP that Azure uses to return every IP information is will be displayed. Okay, I can still come back to that. While I continue, after verifying the Azure DNS, I now test for connectivity. In my connectivity test, I have to log on to um, Sales VM1. When I log into Sales VM1, I ping Sales VM is server responded. I pinged uh, the next IP address, ping 51, which is the VM2, sales VM2, but it says timeout. When I later try to investigate why it timed out, I realized that Azure by default ping uh, ping test is always blocked by Windows Defender Firewall ICMP. Is not allowed by, unless I go into the VM to change the settings, then I will start getting response. But by default, it is being blocked. So when I now pinged um, for engineering department, this is a system from engineering department, it said unreachable. I also pinged customer success department and it said unreachable. In order to further verify the ping test to the VM virtual machine 2 on sales, I did this test, which is test connection, the IP destination IP address with the port, and I got a successful test telling me that there is no problem, just that the 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 Windows firewall is blocking the ping. Thank you very much. In a nutshell, in summary, this project final environment talks about 3 virtual machine that was created, 6 virtual machine, 3 virtual networks, 6 subnets, 3 network security group, static IP configuration, and Azure provided DNS. All these were we put in place for the this project to be successful. Thank you very much.